Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, again, we've been talking about the cooling trend, and we're really going to be continuing to face that cooling trend. It really is coming as we head into the first week of May, especially into the time frame of the coming weekend, May 9th and 10th. Total precipitation, well, we're seeing quite a bit right now across portions of western and central Alberta. We're seeing some snow across some of the higher elevations. This storm system is going to pull away over the next 24 to 48 hours, and that's going to leave a relatively dry week in place across the prairie. As we look at that chance for snow over the next week, again, going to be found across west central Alberta. But as we get into the back half of the weekend, unfortunately, with that transition to a cooler pattern, I've got some concerns about some snow maybe in this region as we get into the weekend. So we look at those temperatures right now, not so bad. Above freezing, between 5 to 10 degrees across the prairie early this morning and warming up nicely as we head into the afternoon. So you look at the satellite picture, here's the storm system that's all wrapped up, bringing the snow to portions of Alberta, the showers to lower elevations here, but the precipitation there, again, being brought on by an area of low pressure moving through the prairie right now and some upslope flow there across the Rockies. So taking the drawing off, looking at the satellite picture here by mid-morning, we can see that across southern portions of Alberta, southern portions of Saskatchewan enjoying a very nice morning. A lot of sunshine across that region, but as you head just north of that line there, you head into some heavy precipitation and some heavy cloud cover, and then that cloud cover associated with that storm system extends kind of along Highway 16 through southern Saskatchewan, or central Saskatchewan, and then down into southern and central Manitoba. So we look at the radar then, we've got some showers falling underneath those clouds here and moving out of the Regina area, maybe some light rain falling in Brandon, maybe a few light showers in Winnipeg later today. As you look toward the backside of the system where we've got the upslope flow here, we've got some heavier showers and some snow in the higher elevations here across western and central Alberta. That snow stretches all the way from Grand Prairie down toward Edmonton, probably dealing with a liquid rain here, but maybe some showers just to the west of that area and then rain falling in Calgary. Where we have the snow falling, we do have some snowfall advisories here. We're talking about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow accumulating here between the end of the day. We're really getting on the back half of this storm, though, as I go ahead and kind of loop things over the next 24 hours. You start to see that precipitation fading across the region, running out of moisture, and the overall area of low pressure beginning to kind of spin out and lose its definition as we get into the overnight period. So snow across the higher elevations here, showers extending from central Alberta into southeastern and southern portions of Manitoba, maybe some showers developing across the region where we have that sunshine. Today we can get some instability here, get kind of a warmer, more unstable air mass across that region that could help set off some afternoon showers and thunderstorms across that region as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. Heading into the day tomorrow, watching for maybe a couple spotty showers popping up in select areas across southern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba, but by and large looking like a dry finish to the week. Now here's the trough, the little system that's sneaking through, bringing the heavier precipitation to western and central portions of Alberta. We're going to see this trough quickly scoot on out of here. And then we end up on a kind of an interesting place here in Canada, an interesting transition, an interesting place to be across the prairie here, as ultimately we are headed toward a pattern something like this, a big ridge forcing a lot of warm air northward across western Canada into Alaska, this big trough across the Hudson Bay into the Great Lakes of the United States, pulling a lot of cooler air into this region. So western portions of the prairie perhaps feeling some of the warmth. Meanwhile, central and eastern portions of the prairie are going to be feeling those cold pushes of air coming in. So an interesting temperature pattern and an interesting forecast here over the next week. But I wouldn't call it good interesting at this point as we try and gear up for spring. Taking a look at the temperature anomaly forecast over the prairie here, you're going to see we kind of keep things all right over the next 3 to 4 days, seeing some of that colder air across portions of Manitoba by the middle to later part of the week. But Alberta, western portions of Saskatchewan, you hold on to the decent temperature trends here until we get to the weekend into early next week. Now we're really starting to see the effects here, that warm air really being forced eastward, starting to see they'll draw that in blue, starting to see the cooler air being pulled down from the Arctic and kind of settling here across central and eastern Canada, while also spilling down into the Midwest of the United States. As we look at the next 5 days of precipitation, again, predominantly dry across the prairie here, even though there are some opportunities for some very light precipitation across the region. We'll see the heavier precipitation across western and central Alberta. That is already beginning to wane, though, as we talked about. So taking a longer look at the European model, this will help us kind of pin down the next storm system, which arrives over the weekend and could be rather problematic for some folks. So here's the look as we get into Tuesday morning. Pretty dry. I mentioned a chance for maybe a spotty shower across southern Saskatchewan into southern Alberta. Not talking about any significant precipitation, though, really heading into a dry week. We're into Wednesday, into Thursday, which is we're going to watch the storm system kind of be forced off to the south. It's going to be kind of riding along the southern periphery of the trough here and being kind of deflected out of the prairie. So precipitation perhaps across far southern and southwestern Alberta as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday. Much of the prairie missing out on that. As we talk about the rest of the prairie, it looks like it's as we get into Friday and Saturday. Here comes our next system, and look at that dreaded blue shading. So we see a lot of cold air coming in from the north. It's possible we could see some accumulating snow here across portions of the Saskatchewan and Manitoba border here as we head into the weekend. Now, the good news is we've got low confidence in this. We've got different solutions from each of our models. We're looking at the European model top left, the American GFS model top right, the Canadian model here in the center. These are not all the exact same time frame, but each of them has some idea of some snow making their way through. So the European model, a little more organized with that system, brings in some brief but accumulating snow here as we get into Saturday night across the southern border of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. As we look at the American GFS model, it's much weaker, but it does try to bring in maybe some light snow showers as we get into Sunday afternoon. So we talk about the Canadian long-range model here, a little bit stronger, a little bit quicker with the storm system. So bringing some snow, some accumulating snow to the southern border of Saskatchewan and Manitoba Saturday morning. So we've got, Saturday AM here from the Canadian model. We've got Saturday night on the European model, and then we've got Sunday afternoon on the GFS model. But across the board, we have the suggestion that we're going to see at least some light snow showers across that region. And with this transition to a much colder pattern, unfortunately, that just is going to be the case. We're going to see some areas picking up a little bit of early May snow. Total precipitation between now and the end of the week, again, much of that falling now, beginning to wane as I just let this play through Wednesday, getting into Thursday. You see the storm system off to the south, getting into Friday. Not much in the way of additional precipitation as we head through the end of the week. It's as we get into the weekend, we see that transition to a cooler air mass, and we bring in the chance of more widespread precipitation. We're going to finish with a look at the forecast probability of frost, temperatures getting below zero. Where you see the red shading, that's where you're getting north of 90% probability, and those get pretty high here across a widespread portion of the prairie as we get into the weekend. So taking it through the end of the week, we start to see some of that cold air pushing into Manitoba and northern portions of Saskatchewan. So, as we go through Wednesday night, getting into Thursday night, seeing that high probability of below freezing temperatures here across Manitoba. And then as we head into the weekend, here it would be Saturday morning. This is now Sunday morning. This is now Sunday night getting into Monday morning. You're seeing those orange colors now extending into portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan, and that's where we're getting into 60, 70, 80% chance of seeing those temperatures below freezing. So that is where we're headed across the prairie. We've got a relatively quiet week ahead, but as we head into the weekend, looking at the chance for some areas to pick up a little bit of snow, and for many areas to be experiencing some much colder temperatures than we'd like to be seeing here as we head through the first 10 days of May. Wind's not going to be a huge issue as we head through the next several days. We've got some strong wind gusts possible across portions of southern Alberta as this area of low pressure makes its way out of the area. As you get into the day tomorrow, really pleasant conditions, calm winds across the prairie, and then as we get into Wednesday, start to see upslope flow with that the storm system that's passing off to the south here mid to late week. So blustery conditions are expected to pass across portions of southern Alberta at times, although we're really talking about maybe 20 knot wind gusts here as we head into the mid part of the week. So Calgary, here's a look at your next 10 days. Again, keeping temperatures pretty pleasant as we head through the next few days. It's as we get into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, that we really experience that cool down. Edmonton, same thing. Watch for that Saturday, Sunday, Monday cool down. Temperatures dropping below freezing for the overnight lows Sunday through Tuesday. Saskatoon, same thing. Keeping things rather pleasant, rather quiet as we head through the week. It's the weekend that's problematic. Cold temperatures, a chance for some light snow. Regina, and then we'll finish up with a look at Winnipeg. You just straight up get to enjoy a bit cooler than average temperatures for the entirety of the week. I hope you have a great day, a wonderful start to your week. We'll be back to talk to you again about the Canadian Prairie on Wednesday morning.